Right.
Like, that's a poor excuse to say that the movies suck, because you know deep down in your heart that you love the entire series.
Right.
There's nothing you people can say about it. I know deep down in your heart you love the entire series all the same.
Well, right. My thing with the Phantom Menace is there wasn't enough Jedi. It was too much it was an Anakin-based movie instead of a Jedi-based movie.
I still loved it.
Like, 3, amazing, because of the Mustafar fight scene, Mustafar, however you pronounce it, and then the Obi-Wan and General Grievous fight scene.
I mean, if all you're looking for is fight scenes, then I guess, yeah, but I was looking for the story. I was looking for the universe. I was looking for how I should feel for these people.
That's another reason why I sure, like, the first 3 have their problems, and, like, looking at, rewatching them now, like, having a better understanding of what works in film. There are times where, like, the writing, you know, like, a character will say something like, I just don't, like, especially after seeing, like, the Clone Wars and Rebels, I just don't feel like that character would say that or act that way in that situation. But, like...
And don't forget canon, they also kind of just threw canon out the window and started inventing new things and then decided that it was stupid, so that's another big problem.
Right, but the thing I will live and I will die on is that Anakin Skywalker is a far more interesting character than Luke Skywalker.
So much more.
Like, I would... It's just... To see there's so much more development in Luke or in Anakin, whereas I feel like for Luke, he pretty much stays very stagnant the entire time. You know, like the only real
he will never be an Anakin either.
Right, like the only real problem you really see him have to come to grips with is finding out that Darth Vader is his father. He never even comes to grips with that. That's the thing. But like, and I'm really interested to see. And how, like, what they're doing with the new stuff, because, like, he had that line in the trailer, like the Jedi need die, or like I forget the exact thing, but like, so I'm interested to see what happened to him now that he's developed more, and like now he has this different look on the way things is, because like I could go into it way deeper and explain why Anakin is so much better.
Anakin is just a pure
that was
and especially when you watch like the Clone Wars and see the slow path, him slowly crawling down the path to lead him to decide to make the decision to move to the dark side.
And then there's like even books and shit on it that apparently makes it even better. And
right.
I really want to read it because Anakin is pure badass.
Right, and then with Luke, it's like he's just your typical hero, which is fine. Like, you know, he grows up in isolation, like he leaves home, you know.
But remember, the original trilogy was more of a black and white movie. Like you said earlier, you were just thrown in it. Yeah, the rebels are the good guys, the Empire are the bad guys. You were kind of just thrown into this black and white world with no shades of gray, which is what the original trilogy brought, was that shade of gray where, hold on a second, now we can see, you know, why... You know, Anakin, Darth Vader exists.
Right, which is why I think I'm really interested in to see what happens in these next 2 movies that are coming out. Because I'm interested to see, like...
You're talking about the Han Solo standalone? What were the next 2 movies?
I'm talking about the next 2, official Star Wars movies. So 8 and 9.
The Last Jedi and whatever comes after.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not. I'm very skeptical because I really don't like The Force Awakens.
Well, see, because I think the development that Luke's gonna have that will make him as interesting as Anakin is after, like, when he's trying to make the Jedi Order, and then when Kylo comes and destroys it all. I think that's when we're gonna see him really develop as a person.
I don't know if Kylo is actually gonna destroy it all.
Or hasn't he
I
already
feel
done
like
that?
this might be when we see Snoke, right? That's his name. Snoke. I feel like that might be when we see Snoke. Like, be explained a little bit more.
I will even argue this, that Kylo Ren is a more interesting character than Luke. From what we've seen.
And here's another thing, is movies in the time period where Star Wars came out were definitely very black and white, because that's just what people wanted. So
right.
Nowadays, people want something with, like,
the shades of
dynamic, just, like, crazy off-the-wall stuff. So... I get it, like, the older people definitely do like their black and white because they like to just have somebody to root for and love it to death, but you can't deny that the other movies are great.
Right. Yeah, and like...
60s were a segregated time. Black and white was the way of the world.
but yeah, that's why the first 3 are on my top list and the original trilogy is not. Because not that... The original trilogy... I think Star Wars as a whole is definitely top 5. movie series, but I feel like you
Star
have
Wars
to...
as a whole is top 5 series ever.
Right. But if we're just choosing like series, like if you're gonna break them up, I go with 1 and 2.
Because I've been reading some of the new Darth Vader comics and stuff.
I want a Vader movie.
Shit.
I want a Vader movie.
Wow, is he a fucking badass in these comics?
Movie.
He is like, wow.
I want a Vader movie so bad.
All right.
Yeah, I'll move on.
Do I get to your 5, Colin?
I want to see a pre-episode 1 movie, like one that follows Qui-Gon Jinn around.
Have you watched all of Clone Wars?
No.
The TV, dude, watch it.
Watch it.
You do yourself a favor and watch it.
I'm really excited for whatever comes out.
They were going to take it off Netflix, but then they put it back on.
Okay.
Yeah. So I highly recommend it. The first season or 2 is...
I've seen like the first season or 2 with Anakin and Ahsoka.
Right. It's just like stories, like just them. But then like once you get into like season 3, they start doing these arcs where like you'll get like 4 episodes of this one arc, and the last
kind of
4
like Justice
episodes,
League and Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, the last 4 episodes,
wow,
are amazing. They're amazing. I'm not going to tell you anything about them. All I'm going to say is that it focuses on Yoda, and it explains so much.
I want to see what they do after Rebels as well.
Then the 3 episode arc that focuses on Anakin.
Oh my god! Wow.
Okay. 3 out of the top 5 moments in Star Wars are from Rebels and the Clone Wars.
Now let me guess. The other 2 moments are Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting on Mustafar, and then the Darth Vader scene in Rogue One for you.
The Darth Vader scene is one of them, but I don't know if I'd count Anakin and Obi-Wan. I feel like they could have done it better now.
To be honest,
be better now.
I think one of the best scenes is at the end of 3 where they're like setting them all up. That was pretty fucking cool.
Anyway, Colin, you have a top 5.
So my number 5 is really transitional because it comes down to childhood loves. I wrote down Transformers because
the new movies that
they
made? Okay.
The series.
Did you see the newest one?
No, I haven't yet. I really want to. Transformers was a childhood love of mine. I collected Transformers as a child. I love Transformers. But it could also be interchanged with Star Wars, or TMNT, or
Are you talking about the new TMNT movies?
Just because they're...
You know that animated one? That old one came out in like 08?
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
It was a great movie.
I love that movie.
They were all... I mean, I enjoyed all of them because I'm just a big TMNT fan.
The TMNT cartoons used to be really good.
Oh my god. Every single one, too. Like, not just like certain ones, but every cartoon was great.
Nolan North voices Raphael, I'm pretty sure. At least in the movie he did.
Really?
Yeah, the 08 one.
But I just... Those 3 go very interchangeable because they have to do with like just childhood love and the love for the story and the lore.
Right.
Remember those old toys, Rescue Heroes?
Yeah.
Those were lit.
They were.
That's random as fuck, but okay.
Number 4 is Back to the Future.
Okay.
Because Back to the Future, that's something we don't really need to talk about. Pirates of the Caribbean is number 3 because
I almost put that on my list.
One of my favorite things in the world is pirates. Like, pirates are just pure badassery. So, Pirates of the Caribbean 3 is most certainly number 3 because, like, I get to experience pirateness. I get to experience, like, the pirate lore, like, the Kraken, the Fountain of Youth. Like, you get to experience all... Davy Jones. I mean, like, they really, like, said, here's what pirates and the pirate, like, mythology stuff is.
It is the only Disney movie to date that I can watch and forget it's a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Well,
don't forget about Marvel movies now.
I don't really
they're owned by Disney.
Yeah, so is Star Wars.
That's what I'm saying.
Princess Leia is a Disney princess.
Technically.
Oh, Jesus.
Number 2, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yep.
The only reason...
number 2.
Now, see, the only reason it's not number 1 is because my number 1 has a very special place in my heart. But Spider-Man...
It's going to be The Birth of a Nation.
It's not really a series.
It's gonna be the what is it? The Passion.
The Passion of the Christ.
Passion of the Christ.
Jesus.
But like,
isn't there a sequel to that?
I have no idea.
There's probably a few.
Yeah. It's called The Rest of the World.
No, I'm pretty sure there's like a Passion of the Christ movie where like Mel Gibson plays Jesus or something.
There is a Passion of the Christ movie where Mel Gibson does play Jesus. Yes, I don't know if there's a sequel to that movie.
As we know, South Park.
Spider-Man is number 2 because one, Spider-Man is my favorite hero and probably the best hero, undoubtedly.
Yeah, Batman, but yeah.
No, but the reason is my favorite work of fiction is the James Bond series. That is number one on my list because the James Bond series is probably my favorite work of fiction.
Whoever said it was fiction?
You know what? There's a part of me, you never know, but like all of those movies are just pure gold. And yeah, there's a couple actors that I don't really enjoy to look at. But
pure golden eyes and golden guns?
Almost, yeah. But man, like they just knock it out of the water for spy movies.
Yeah.
I mean, they do a freaking good job.
Yeah, maybe if they just put a little more work in them, they'd be as good as Kingsman.
Kingsman is like a prequel to it.
I don't like James Bond.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say I ever gave it a fair shot.
Is this Atomic Blonde supposed to be in the same universe as 007? Because that's what my brother and my dad were like trying to tell me, and I'm like, I just don't think that's true.
I don't know.
Sorry, Zach.
But Kingsman is supposed to be like a prequel to the MI6.
Kingsman is so good. I can't wait for the second.
You ever see the Johnny English movies?
Yeah,
they're pretty funny.
They're pretty funny. I always think of that dude, and I think how creepy that dude really is.
Like the actor? Or
yeah,
Mr. Bean. That's Johnny English.
Oh,
that's Johnny English. He basically he plays a spoof in like a spoof of 007 movies. There's two, Johnny English and Johnny English Reborn. They're definitely worth a watch.
He's basically the modern version of Austin Powers.
I've never seen.
No, because he's more. I don't know who the character I'm trying to think of, but he's more of like a Pink Panther if he was a secret agent. You know how like the Pink Panther just kind of like does stuff and it works out.
Inspector Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah, that's Johnny English. Okay. Johnny English is like.
Is that Steve Martin who plays him?
The Pink Panther.
Yeah, is that Steve Martin
in the newest two?
Yeah, is that Steve Martin?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I definitely give the Johnny English movies a watch. They're definitely worth a watch.
Right.
After we finish the Saw series.
See, I don't know if I could rewatch them because I don't know if they were that good to me.
They're funny enough for like the occasional rewatch.
I guess.
Like if you're just sitting there, you don't.
I feel like you could rewatch anything given enough time.
I mean, like if all four of us are sitting there, like let's watch a movie that'll make us laugh. Like Johnny English I would certainly not be opposed to that.
Have you guys watched Police Academy?
I've seen that when I was younger. I used to like them.
Police Academy is so good. I love Police Academy.
When I was scrolling through the series list, I saw Police Academy.
My problem with making top fives is like I've had so many good moments with so many movies.
I feel like if I were to make this list next week, it would be different.
Oh yeah,
probably.
It would give it more time.
Every day it'd be different for me because like there's so many movies that I've watched in my life because like my Uncle Scott was a big like movie and like TV kind of guy. Like he enjoyed like the universes, and like we would just sit down with him and watch like we watched The Last Airbender, like the series, not the horrible movies that came out, but the series. One time we watched for 3 days straight. I mean, because we just really enjoyed watching movies, and we would sit down and we'd watch movies because we also played Seen It. So like,
Seen It was a good game.
It was a good game. So like, we would just sit down and watch movies. Because as a family, we try and dominate the other people that came over during New Year's.
Right.
So.
Plus, I already know when Spider-Man: Homecoming 2 comes out, Toby's getting bumped down to slot 2.
Oh yeah.
As long as I really hope they don't focus. Okay, no, I can't talk. I really hope they don't focus on the villain that they teased in the end credit scene, because I don't think he's a villain that you can build a movie off of. Although I also didn't think that about Vulture, and Michael Keaton did an amazing job.
I don't know. Vulture's one of Spider-Man's biggest foes, though.
Yeah, but I really didn't think that would be good for a modern day movie. And like, you know, a lot of Spider-Man's villains, the problems are like Vulture, Shocker, Scorpion. Like these guys, like in the comics, are laughable.
No, they're not.
They're almost like the classic.
The Vulture is most certainly not insane with the Scorpion. Like, the Shocker, kind of.
The classic Electro, especially with like the green suit and like the yellow around his head, like that's.
Well, yeah, I mean the character looking at it's laughable, but their actions are like, holy fucking shit, are they nuts?
You know who's a hardcore villain? The Electrocutioner.
Like Vulture literally just wants Peter dead, just because he interferes with money. That's it. Like, he wants nothing more than than Spider-Man to die because
I feel like a
he interferes with his
Tombstone
money.
or a Symbiote or a Green Goblin are all, or Doc Ock. A lot of these guys would be better picks.
Now, Green Goblin is most certainly like one of the number ones because he's just fucking nuts.
The problem is the Green Goblin's been so overdosed
with
Spider-Man that I understand their hesitancy to go towards
But
him.
I really enjoy the Vulture because like the Vulture tried